Now, as we know, there's a ton of games releasing for the Xbox Series X, but we'll be taking a look at 13 new and upcoming Xbox Series X games alongside with some gameplay footage. Now we're starting off this list with Safeguard. Safeguard is an upcoming tactical action adventure game that is currently being developed by a single person, and there's also little to no information about this game. But what we know so far about this game is that it seems to have a large focus on massive open air combat with a lot of various weapons and gadgets. It's a tactical shooter, so these things are expected. There's also vehicles teased in this game and destructible environments, and the maps that were showcased in this teaser, even though it is still early in development, we can see a lot of vegetations and even wildlife. As I said earlier on, there's not much known about this game, but this game has a lot of potential for sure. The game will be releasing for the Xbox Series X, Series S, PC, and PS5. And as for the release date, well, nothing is known about this, but we'll probably have to wait until 2023 for this game to be released, the latest. Next up is Project Eve. Project Eve is the upcoming action-adventure third-person slasher game being developed and is published by Shift Up Corporation. Project Eve is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi game, as you will be going on an adventure in a destroyed Earth overrun by aliens and a lot of weird creatures, and you're Eve, a survivor out on a journey for justice and revenge. The game combat will feature the usual RPG, attacking, dodging, blocking, and the thing to expect, but there will also be a fair bit of climbing, sliding, and swinging around and dodging. The game really has a lot of style to the combat, a lot of fast pace, and it's really one that catches the eye. You can progress through the game and become stronger and faster. Project Eve will be releasing for the Xbox Series X, Series S, PC, and the Xbox One, and also the PS4. The release date for this game is to be announced though. Now next up, we were looking at Evil West. Evil West is the upcoming action-adventure shooter horror fighting game being developed by Flying Wild Hog and is to be published by Focus Entertainment. Now, if its name hasn't given it away, this game is based in a western dark fantasy setting. Now, you'll be playing as a badass vampire hunters, one after the last in a top secret vampire hunting institute. And the vampires are getting out of hand, leaving from the darkness in hordes, and they shall be slayed in hordes. I'm just kidding. Well, they will be. Now, the weapons in this game are, let's just say, it's fancy. I mean, we're talking about the West here. So there's explosive, superpowered guns, lightning-fueled gauntlet, and also a lot of cool and amazing gadgets. Now, whether you want to wreck this game solo by yourself or take on a deadly threat with a friend in co-op mode, it's all up to you. Now, you'll be able to craft and receive new weapons and upgrade as the story modes progresses. The game will be releasing for the Xbox Series X, Series S, PS5, PC, PS4, and the Xbox One sometime in 2022. Next up is Vigilance 2099. Vigilance 2099 is an upcoming open-world role-playing action-adventure fighting single-player game being developed by Evadon Studio and is to be published by Behemoth. Now, Vigilance 2099 will be taking place in a futuristic city, or a futuristic cyberpunk city for that matter. And this game is, well, let's just say this game went super futuristic. I don't think I've ever seen any game like this. I mean, there's flying vehicles and humans and robots living together in harmony. Well, some kind of harmony, but it's all a lot different. It's just a different thing, but it's not all pretty. The city is rattled with crimes and violence, and you're an ex-fed turned bounty hunter, criminal mastermind. You're a bad guy. You will have to climb your way up to the top of the criminal ladder. Now, the game will also have a lot of traversing options, whether that's by vehicle or on foot, it's all up to you. Now some bounty can be taken in easily without a fight, and there's some that would put up a wall or brawl, if you get what I'm saying. Now you'll be able to hack in security cameras and take control of robot droids, giving you full control over them. The game is a RPG, so there's levels to it. The game releasing for the Xbox Series X, Series S, PC, and the PS5. The game release date is to be announced though. Next up is Planet 8. Planet 8 is the upcoming MMO action-adventure shooter game being developed and to be published by Pearl Abyss. Now this game is going to be focusing on extra suits and power gears and also powerful weapons, and the game seems to use a bit of cover and shooting mechanics. The game also will feature a smooth parkour or parkour animations, but there's no information on this game, just a trailer that was released a couple of years now, but the game is still in the making and will be releasing on the Xbox Series X, Series S, PS5, PC, PS4, and the Xbox One. The release date for this game is not announced, nor do I have any idea of when the game will actually be releasing, but hopefully we'll hear more about it soon enough. Next up is Redfall. Redfall is the upcoming open-world action-adventure horror first-person game being developed by Arcane Studios and is published by Bethesda Softworks. Now, the game will offer 4 playable characters with different powers, weapons, abilities, and different backstories. Now, you'll be able to choose one out of all these 4 characters. The game main enemy will be vampires alongside a human threat. The game takes place on a titular in the town of Redfall after scientists fail an experiment unleashing vampires onto the town, and 4 strangers are forced to battle these forces alongside with their own kind for survival. Redfall will be releasing on the Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC, so it is a Microsoft exclusive. The game will be releasing sometime in September 2022. Next up is Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is an upcoming action-adventure fighting exploration open-world game being developed by Sonic Team and is to be published by Saga. Now Sonic is taking a new route. This time he's going open-world, and just so you know, this is the first ever Sonic game to actually go open-world, so it's going to take a lot of work and it's going to need a lot of work to pull this off in a successful way. Now, the open world in this game will be full of a lot of beautiful and vast number of biomes and location. They'll be beautiful in lush, flowery fields, forests, ancient ruins, and sunny desert. Now, it was recently announced that Sonic Frontier will feature a new combat. I don't know exactly how it will look like, as I haven't seen any footage of the game combat as yet. But the good thing is we'll be getting back Sonic speed just in a big world. I mean, if this can actually be pulled off, what are the chances we'll get an open world Flash game? I mean, we could dream, right? The game will be releasing for the Xbox Series X, Series S, PS5, PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Now, the game has a holiday 2022 release date. This could be in December, but I'm not really certain. Next up on this list is Senua Saga Hellblade 2. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 is an upcoming action-adventure fighting horror game being developed by Ninja Theory and is to be published by the Xbox Game Studio. Now, the game is said to be taking place in Iceland, where the main character Senua, which is a Pictish warrior, I hope I got that right, is on a personal journey traveling into the depths of Helm to save the soul of her lover Dylan. The game is built off the Norse mythology and the Vikings. It's centered around the dark area environment, filled with a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard decision making. And if the game is anything like its predecessor, which I highly think it is, with the fact that it's indeed a sequel, which is a good thing, as we can expect the game to be equally challenging and even more beautiful with improved control. Not like Senua's Hellblade had bad control in the first place or graphics. In fact, it was the very opposite. The game was one of the greatest, of its time. But that game was released on last-gen consoles, so the expectation for this game is a lot, being that this game is a next-gen exclusive. but one thing is for sure is that this game is going to be even more darker than its predecessor, which I'm all down for. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 will be releasing exclusively for the Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC. The game release date is to be announced. Next up is Arc 2. Arc 2 is an upcoming action-adventure fighting survival open-world game being developed and published by Studio Wildcards. Now, just like its predecessor, Arc 2 will return in our staying in the Ardent Dinosaur era, I should say. And just like its predecessor, it's gonna be a multiplayer sandbox. Now, for anyone that's not familiar with Arc 2 or the previous Arc game, it's basically a game where you hunt dinosaurs and other creatures. You can also tame dinosaurs, which can then be mounted and you can ride on, whether on land or you can fly in the air. It's all up to you. You can also gather raw material and other resources to build yourself a base shelter where you can store all your goodies. You can also breed and raise your own dinosaurs and make like your personal farm or zoo, whatever you like to call it. But there's also other players, some friendly with good intentions, and then there are the trolls who will kill you and steal all your loot. I'm personally speaking, this happened to me. I hate it. But if you build your camp and you get stronger, then you'll ultimately become an unstoppable force. The game will be releasing for the Xbox Series X and the Series S and the PC sometime in 2022. Next up is CrossFireX. CrossFireX is the upcoming first-person shooter action-adventure game with Redmi Entertainment working on a single-player campaign mode, while Smilegates Entertainment is working on a free-to-play multiplayer mode. So those are the developers, and the game is to be published by the Xbox Game Studio. The gameplay of CrossFireX is similar to like something like CSGO, where two opposite teams with one team attacking the other for victory by doing objective from planting bombs or stopping the other team from planting one. And there is also many more, or tons of different modes to enjoy, but a single player campaign would be a different thing. It's not free to play, as you'll have to buy the story mode. The story will have several episodes where the Blacklist and the Global Risk are both at war with each other. CrossFireX will be releasing exclusively for the Xbox Series X, Series S, and the PC. The game will be releasing on February 10th, 2022, so that's like a week from now. So keep an eye out for it. Next up is Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is the upcoming open-world action-adventure role-playing game being developed by Avalanche Software and is published by Warner Bros. Hogwarts Legacy will be set in the 1800s, where you'll be a student that will be able to choose your Hogwarts house and attend classes you would like to attend to. The open world will have a lot of areas to explore, a few being Forbidden Forests and Hogsmeade Village, or Hogsmaiden. Please, Harry Potter fans, don't kill me for this. I'm trying. You also be able to craft magic spells and potions, and you also learn to use different spells and combat abilities. Also you'll be able to choose how your in-game character sounds. That's pretty cool. Alongside with choosing their physical features as well, you can also choose whether to be a witch or a wizard. Hogwarts Legacy will be releasing on the Xbox Series X, Series S, PS5, PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. The game will be releasing sometime in 2023. Next up is Scorn. Scorn is an upcoming first-person shooter hero action-adventure game being developed and to be published by EVB Software. The game is set in an eerie nightmarish universe. The design of this world is nothing but nightmarish. It's a complete nightmare. It looks like your worst nightmare ever. I don't know, it's a weird one. It's one of the weirdest, but the maps are connected by interconnected region, which you can totally explore and every location will have its own story and personal puzzle, with each region looking like a maze with a lot of things to discover. But it's not that easy just walking around traveling, in this world. The game is full of a lot of weird, creepy, scary ass monsters that will attack you like a freaking maniac. The game is a Microsoft exclusive, so releasing for the Xbox Series X, Series S, and the PC. The game will be releasing sometime in October 2022. Now wrapping up this listing with Saints Row. Saints Row is an upcoming open world shooter action adventure fighting game being developed and soon published by Deep Silver. The game is said to be a reboot of the Saints Row series, which definitely came as a surprise as this game was shortly announced after Saints Row 3 Remastered was released. The game is going to be set in the city of Santos Ileso, based in the Southwest America, which the city is being controlled by three major gangs: the Los Panteros, the Idols, and the Martial defense industry. You'll be taking control of the Saints boss, which assembles a gang with the new crew members. The city has 9 districts, and you'll be tasked to take control of the city. You can also create your own character to fit your imagination, wild imagination. The game will also feature a multiplayer mode, a co-op mode, and releasing on the Xbox Series X, the Series S, the PS5, PC, PS4, and the Xbox One. The game releasing on August 23, 2022. Well, gamers, that is it. You have officially made it to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made all this way, if you're new, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.